Welcome back to the Biohacks Podcast. Today we are joined by Harry Thomas. We're going to be talking all things coaching, fitness. He's going to be dropping some value bombs for everybody, all the trainers listening, and anybody. Even if you're not a trainer, I'm sure there's going to be plenty of useful stuff in here because there's Harry's got multiple dimensions and multiple elements and different people and processes that he can work with you. So, Harry, thanks for coming on, mate.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Do you want to give, we always start with a bit of a background, like how did you get to where you are today? What was the process? What was the journey? Just keep it abridged, short and sharp.
Yeah, originally personal trainer from London, now had my personal training company for 11 years. So we've got 2 personal training studios in London. We also run a fitness education. So it's one of my biggest passions. We teach people to become personal trainers. And not only that, we then help them get jobs and help them smash the industry. So it's kind of like leaving a legacy back. Since then, I've noticed that personal training was a lot more about the people and being able to adapt to each person. And over the years, we started realizing we were good coaches. So we were getting results without actually realizing why. But now we've got to a stage where you start realizing it's work, lifestyle, mindset, nutrition, like there's a whole package there. So the personal training now that we look at is literally from the whole package. And when people come onto our courses, you come in thinking, oh, I'm going to go in the gym and I'm going to get my certification. And when you come out of it, you're like, I'm a better person. I read people. I actually want to do this now. Like there's a lot more that you can get added from it.
100%. And I guess you've been on this, even just from knowing you and kind of being in the London personal training space, there's obviously been a massive transformation in personal training over the past 20 years, I guess, really. And I guess you guys have been at the forefront of that. You were in it, and then now, because you've been through it, I guess you're now in a great space to be able to teach people an accelerated process of actually what people want, I guess.
And with that as well, what we say, we can touch every single thing that's happened within the fitness industry. One of our team has done it. So we've been on private jets. We've trained, my business partner's trained Madonna, which I don't think you can get a bigger celebrity than that. Okay. We've gone to Royal Family. We've gone to all sorts in terms of just destinations. But we've also employed trainers. We've sacked trainers. We've had trainers steal from us. We've had meetings with a bank where they're like, we can't help you. So we're literally on fried eggs for a week, working out how we're going to get out of this problem. Yeah, all sorts. And then you had the corona at the moment, which has been a big learning curve. So yeah, we've kind of experienced it all. And I think that's the thing that we can confidently say, we can help you. And not only that, we can give you a personal experience of how it's affected us or what we'd do differently, so you don't have to make them mistakes.
100%. And I guess it's like that, like they say, isn't it? Like having a mentor, having someone to, obviously you guys have gone and got hands-on in kind of the personal training space. You've been through the fire. You've been through obviously owning your own personal training business, working with clients, obviously working from just the average Joe who is in the gym all the way up to kind of the top echelons of society. And I guess within all of that, the learnings that you've taken away, it's like you can't replace that. You can't really learn that in a book, I guess. So no, it's really fantastic that you've now kind of those who can teach type of thing, I guess. So
you met me a long time ago though, didn't you? When Alicia, your sister, used to come in.
100%.
But yeah, so you can see just in terms of that little studio of the changes, because I was a little boy there.
Yeah, no, that's so. Alicia's not my sister, but she's because she always we always used to hang out.
You, bro.
Yeah, we always used to hang out, and her brother's kind of looks he's a bit like me as well. He used to play rugby and did that whole thing. So like we kind of always used to joke that we were like brother and sister. But yeah, no, I guess it was a long time ago. But we were all on our journeys then, I guess, weren't we? And it's led us to where we are now. But now that's great. So fitness education is obviously what we want to delve into today. I know you've got many facets to what you're doing now and what you're working on. Obviously, lots of exciting stuff over for like the next kind of, I guess, your next adventure and your next journey, what it's going to turn into. But today we'll obviously keep it a little bit focused on the fitness education. So somebody comes to you today, they want to be a coach, aspiring kind of budding trainer, love fitness, want to work in fitness. What's the whole process that you kind of take them through? How does it work?
Yeah, so for me, again, just like personal training, I find out about that person. So you want to do a PT course? I'm like, why? And I really dig deep, because people think they like fitness or they think they want to, but after our conversations, they really understand why. Like, they feel good, they've affected people, they've seen people change, like they get a buzz from doing it. So I keep that excitement, and I'm like, you could do that as your job and your day to day, all in one. And then from there, like, there comes a lot of questions. So if you want a career change, I think you froze again.
I'm still late.
I know you're there.
Yeah, no, it's like,
good listening. I like that. I like that.
I was like deep. I was really deep. Like, I was.
Yeah. So the questions also come. You've got a stable career. You're making good money, but there's no purpose. There's no drive. You don't want to do it. And there's a big association with PT is just a lifestyle job, right? You can't make a lot of money. So money and finance is a big thing for a lot of people. So I'll get the invoices out from our trainers. I'll get the invoices out from people that I know that are making good money. And I just show you, that's what they make. It's like 10K a month for PT. And that's not difficult if you just do the basics right. And this is what I try to say to people. You can do something you love doing and be rewarded for it financially. And then after, it's not a work anymore. It's just, I'm just doing my thing again. I'm just every day. Like, imagine waking up like that every day.
Best life.
But it's getting that excitement out of people. Like, for me, personal training is one of the best jobs in the world. But yet I was embarrassed to say I was a personal trainer for years. And that, like, you go to different things and people say, what do you do? And you're like, I'm a coach. And now I'm like, what they say, what do you do? I'm like, I love what I do. And they're like, what do you do? I'm like, I'm a personal trainer and I change people's lives and blah. And as soon as you do that, all of a sudden this person is now going to want to train with me, because they're like, this person loves what they do. Like, 100%. So this is my thing is to the students and to PTs out there, start telling people how much you love what you do, because they're potential clients. 100%. And as soon as you walk in a gym and you see all these demotivated trainers and you're a client looking around, scared of gym, but needs to make an investment, who are you going to pick? That one that looks like they love, like they're doing it.
Yeah, 100%, definitely. And I guess that's this is where, exactly on your point to begin with, that it's more than just going in the gym, isn't it? Like, a lot of people get a trainer, and because it's more than just about going to the gym. It's like they want someone to help motivate them. Otherwise, they'd just do it themselves if they really loved it. And some of that's obviously, some of it's motivation, some of it's education. There's obviously multiple reasons why. But I guess what you're really tapping into is that you're trying to bring that out of people, that there's this idea that it's more than just being in the gym. It's this idea that they're an accountability coach or whatever you want to call it, but they're there to take this person on a journey, I guess. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%. And again, that word journey, if I said to you, how many months is in a journey? Like, what would you say? A lot, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So what do people sign up to when they join the gym? It's like a 3-month transformation or a 6-week blast. It's like, I want to be healthy.
Yeah.
But if you're coming on a journey with me, I'm talking to you 5-10 years time.
Yeah. What happens at the end of the 90 days, right?
Yeah, and again, end of 90 days, that means, I go back to normal again.
100%.
If I'm talking to you life, I'm like, right, you want to be healthier, let's just be consistent. So one thing, rather than looking how many times a week do I train, let's just look at life. Right? Every other day or every third day, I'm going to be more active. So if I get this installed in your head as a client, my job's easy, because you be consistent at just turning up, like being healthy. My job then is to put these plans in place of this healthy structure to get you really good results. So there's more of a focus. So then it's a partnership. You just turn up and do what you do. I'll then be the specialist and create the special stuff.
Yeah, so it's like reframing it, I guess, don't you? You're reframing it in their head. And I guess this is one of the problems where the fitness industry has been. It's been like blocks of time, pay for an hour, 4-pack, 12-packer sessions for an hour, whatever. And it's like, it's quite binary in terms of something that's actually quite nuanced, right?
Well, like this is what I always say in terms of price. How much are you for PT? And everyone says, I'm this much per hour. A good PT don't work per hour. A good PT works all week for your client. 100%. So you can't talk per hour, because all you're giving a perception is that's all you're worth.
Yeah, so
that's one. And then, like, when you sell packages, they sell a 10 block or a 20 block. But let's face it, like, if your client's got gold for 3 months, after 5 weeks doing 2 sessions a week, they're going to have that thought of like, shit, I need to renew again now. 2 sessions a week for 5 weeks, you're not going to get results. So they're going to be like, is this even worth my money? And they're having this battle in their head. But if I told you it's for 6 months, this is what it is. After a month, you're not going to have that thought because you know you've got another 5 months to go.
Definitely.
So it's kind of the long game, but we want to do things now. Yeah. But like most people haven't done anything for 4 years. So I said, look, what would a successful 1 year look like? Just get back onto it. Cool, that's your goal. Don't worry about anything else.
100%. And I guess that's the thing as well. I even see Jordan Peterson talks about this all the time. It's like you need goals and you need a hierarchy and you need something to aim at. But like what a lot of people do is they end up kind of making the jump too big rather than taking something like a complete lifestyle change, which is obviously what you're saying about in terms of feeling better, not only being better in the gym, but feeling better as a person, enjoying your body, enjoying the way that you work. Enjoying the work that you do as well. I guess it's like trying to break that big task, which is big in someone's head, but obviously because trainers, they've been there and they've done it. It's like trying to take that big task and break it down into those small chunks. But obviously it's like, you can probably do more than you realize, but it's probably going to take you double the amount of time or longer than you think. Right? Isn't that like the old saying that they say, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
So yeah, no,
but longer than you think. If you think of the grand scheme of things, if you just did a year of being healthy, and your next 20 years are going to be so much easier, is that 1 year worth it?
100%. And I guess that's what you're doing. It's all about this is all very much, it's like the next evolution of training, isn't it? It's the actual setup. Like it was a bit, I don't know what's the word I should use, but like not old school, but it was just come in and shift some tin and then go out and that was it. You forget about it. Whereas now it's more nuanced. It's the evolution. It's the next state of health. And it's wellness is obviously a market now, isn't it? Like before it was just like personal training, whereas like wellness is actually like an actual category now within that space. So no, that's kind of like a good foundation. So I've come in, you've got to know me as a trainer. You found out, you've asked me a few more questions and you've dug in deep on why do I want to be a trainer? I'm super excited. Then what are we doing? Like, how does it work?
Yeah, so we structured our course. It was face-to-face and we was very against the online stuff because we saw how terrible it was. No interaction, people coming to job interviews and we're like, you got lots to learn. So we then had to change the course when the corona hit, went virtual, and we was like, right, we need to make this as face-to-face as we can. And the quality of the students coming off for the practicals have been like so surprising for us, like really top standard. So we take you on 11 weeks. There's like 2 to 3 calls a week, live calls for 2 hours. And then there's a whole e-learning element. You pair up with the other students, so you're coaching them, they're coaching you. And then by the end of it, you're then going effectively on a client's journey. So week 1 on level 3 would be the consult. The next week would be assessments. I know your goals. Let's create a starting point. Next week, nutrition. Next week, programming. And by the end of the course, that's effectively how you train a client.
Wow.
And then once you come off the course, our job as the company is to be like, right, where do you want to work? F45? We got managers that we can get you job interviews there. But there's a commitment. If you don't show up on my course, I'm not going to get you a job after. And I make that clear from the start. Like, I'm not putting our reputation on the line if you're not ready to put the effort in. But if you want to be the best trainer, we'll help you get the best jobs. And you'll see just that commitment, they turn up. And you can't have a bad egg in the group because no one else wants you in that group.
100%. And then interesting. Wow. So it's kind of like you obviously tied in the reward into the actual process itself, I guess, which is super smart.
Well, this is when people say, how much is your course? And ours is slightly more than others. And they're like, oh, or that one's like 500 quid more. And I said, okay, so tell me what makes you a successful trainer. Like, what do you want to get? I want to make loads of money. I'm like, okay, cool. This is what you need to do here. So it's an investment.
Yeah, 100%.
But if you get one client after our course and we show you how to keep them, that pays back for your course. That's how simple it is.
100%. Interesting. Very, very interesting. And where are the clients you get at the minute? Where are they coming from? Are they from all over the UK, all over the world? Like
the world now, yeah. So we had someone from India flew over to do our course.
Wow.
We had a guy from Jersey that literally flew over, come back. I've employed him since. Like, again, commitment. I want people like that working for me. But now our course is everywhere, and with our awarding body, it's internationally recognised. But we've also got the approval to do assessments worldwide as well.
Wow.
So now the next step is literally getting in partnerships. Like we've gone to India at the moment, and we're just working on some right now. Australia, yeah. So really, this can expand massively, and with the new age of the digital marketing scene, like there's a big area that we can infiltrate, but also improve the industry whilst we're doing it.
100%, 100%. It's like raising the standard, isn't it? This is what we need. You need people out there that aren't just cookie cutter, the old fitness first model. Or sorry, I shouldn't use any names. Sorry, I take that back. Any of the old school gym models. You need people out there who are going to be the innovators, the creators, the people who are willing to step outside the box. And actually, it's not even step outside the box. It's look at the problem that we currently face, because obviously the environment in which we're in as humans is dynamic, it's fluid, it's always changing, and then solve the problem that is in front of you, not just do what we did. It's like reasoning via analogy rather than reasoning via first principles, isn't it? And I guess this is exactly what you guys are doing. So
well, listen how exciting this is. So I'm like, look where we're going. We're going to take a little. So I'm going to say, who else wants to get involved and teach and be a part of something big? And then also then think about me. I'm labeled as a personal trainer. I'm embarrassed to say I'm a personal trainer, not because of me, because there's so many bad personal trainers out there, right?
100%.
We can't do nothing about that. So this is my pitch to all the people that love what they do, love the industry. Come and work for me. We're going to go worldwide. I only want people that want to learn. I only want people that make an effort and want to make a difference, but also I'm give you a platform to start creating your own stuff. Yeah. It's easy to get people to jump onto that, because what you'll start doing is protecting our image as personal trainers, because we actually do love what we do. And if we could then say personal trainer is one of the best jobs in the world, but people would openly say that and be like, yeah, I respect them. It's like a doctor, you respect them. We don't have that respect because it's too easy to get a qualification at the moment. Yeah. That's what I want to change.
You're like raising the stand. Obviously, you go to become a doctor, it takes 5 years, and you have to do X, Y, and Z. And obviously, doing a 12-week 12-week whatever course, I guess that's just not even that. I think you can get qualified and quicker than that nowadays, can't you? Like just on a just to get the certificate, really, isn't it? Rather than actually. Go on.
Oh, sorry, I was going to say just that approach as well. If anyone says, "Oh yeah, I know what it's about. I just need a certificate," I was like, "You're not on for our course. Then go somewhere else." And I'll tell them straight like that. Like you don't. That's what you realise. The more you're in the industry, the more you don't know. And that's what I love about our industry is you keep learning all the time. But anyone comes in and says, "Oh, I do know it all." No, you don't. Not at all. I'll put you on the spot now, and I'll make you realise you don't know anything. Yeah, it's just I'm passionate about it because we get a bad rep, because you see it. You walk in a gym and you're like, what are they doing? Like they're going to break the client's back. That's standard. That is normal around the world. But that's not logical.
And it's basically the big thing with it, when you really like you said about asking questions, when you boil it down, it's upstream medicine. It's medicine before you get ill. And it's all this massive increase in lifestyle diseases. Obviously doctors are there to fix you once you're broken. But obviously, as we all know, it's easier to not get broken in the first place. And the work that we do, what I've done in the past, and obviously you guys are pioneering now, this is upstream medicine, and that's how it really should be viewed. And I think that shift is happening. Like people are catching on, and you're obviously seeing it even in like you're talking about India, and I guess some of these other emerging nations, that it's very valuable. It's super valuable. What's more valuable than the one vehicle that you've got to last you 80 years or 90 years or whatever.
Yeah, but I've created this whole new like meditation concept, but I ask like proper deep questions, but a lot of them is, how well do you look after yourself? And I'm getting to this state and I'm like, right, notice your ego come up. What's your health like out of 10? And I'm getting you to answer for your body. Wow. And you see people's faces like, I don't look after my body at all. And then I like, look what your body does for you every single day. Your heart's just going like that. So I'm working, just give me some love, please. And it's like, as soon as I throw it like that, people have a little realization, shit, all I need to do is active. I don't need to go aggressive on this new strength program. Let me just get out and go for a walk. Like my body will thank me for that.
100%. And again, it's this reframing. You're completely reframing. You're asking those again, but you're asking deep questions, asking people deep questions that actually probably are quite scary. Because again, again, in any situation, if you don't understand, it's when you have a fear of being out of control, I guess, isn't it? And I guess when people don't understand and they've never been asked those types of questions, I guess it's not something innate you'd ever kind of think about. And I guess that's where you're really pushing the boundary. So, no, that's
It's
really
asking the questions that you can't face yourself as well. So like weight loss, body positivity, all this sort of stuff. Like I understand the concept, but let me ask you, like you say, this is how your body is, really? So if I asked you, are you 10 out of 10 on your nutrition? Are you 10 out of 10? What are you then? And usually it'd be like a 6 or 7. Could you get it to an 8? Yes. So if you did 8, if you just got each one up, you'll lose weight. It's nothing to do with anything else. It's just you have decided not to do it. And that's how the level that I can speak to people now as well. Because if you really want it, you'll tell me that I'm ready to do this right now. But most people want to do it. They're not ready. So they say, I want to lose thing and I want to do this. I'm like, why can't you just do it now?
Commit to it. Yeah, definitely.
That's commitment's it, but it's scary because you've done something and you regret not doing things. You've been unhealthy. So that's a fear now, which means you have to make a change. And it's that change is the thing that when clients go, I need to think about it, I need to speak to the missus, it's like, fuck, I need to do this now. And then my job is, whilst they're getting in that fear, I pull them back and I bring them back to the reason why they come here in the first place.
100%. It's like letting the old, like shedding a skin, right? Letting the old version of you die. And this is now, I'm starting from a new place and I'm becoming a new person. That's
your story. That's all it is. And that makes your story so cool that right now you've decided to go in a new direction and you create your journey. So I'm always like, let go of your past. That's fine. What can you learn from it? Oh, but cool. But what can you learn from it? And I just stop you in the track because it doesn't matter anymore. That's the key bit. But we suffer from our past decisions and we hold on to it right now.
Interesting. Very Taoist. Love it.
Yeah, mate.
I've
studied the Taoism with Wayne Dyer. He lived it.
Another level. That's another conversation. But 100%. But it's exactly that. That's what wisdom and enlightenment is, I guess. And I get it can be applied. It's like something so funny that we're applying wisdom and enlightenment to what we like back in the day would have just called, I'm a personal trainer. It's like this whole new, it's actually mind blowing. It's actually really great to hear it in physical form. So no, huge respect, mate. Huge respect. So we've kind of gone through a little bit about the process and the actual practical application of what people do. It's obviously helpful, like obviously getting people super excited. Anybody listening to this that's kind of interested in kind of going down this way, then you should definitely check out obviously Harry and Harry's work. But the future, like where is health and fitness going? Like what's the next stage? Because obviously you're in it and you're riding the wave right now, and this is the systems and processes you've got in place obviously sound amazing. So how are you staying ahead of the game? Like what's your next steps? And do you want to take us through a little bit of that?
Yeah, so the world now is all virtual and there's a lot more online trainers, but there's also a lot more people hiding behind the screen. So I see the fitness industry going in this whole circle and it's all about the person still. So for example, if I'm a trainer, I need to show who I am because the other end needs to be buying into me, not my product and not my fancy stuff. But also I always say that if you want to make a difference in this world and have a purpose, you have to be involved with it. If you're hiding behind a screen, there's no incentive to help this person. It's just to repeat. That's unfulfilling in my opinion. So I think the fitness industry is going to go a lot more down the digital marketing route. You're going to see like lots more online products. You're going to see, I believe, that there'll be a decline in the fitness influencers in terms of the category of what is under fitness influencer, and you're going to start seeing this new crop of influencers come through.
100%.
But the influencers are going to be now from more of an education standpoint
100%.
and a practical application as well, because there's so much content out there now. I've seen squats and burpees and mountain climbers and band work enough, right? Which is fine. That's what they do. And but now other people are getting a bit more confident, come on camera, and now we need to be like, let's actually show what we do. And so I see there's going to be a big boom there. But I think for me, it's all about the person delivering it or the company delivering it. They have to really get involved with each person to make them feel like a part of something or that we're listening to them. And I think the other thing that we've seen during this period is community is massive. So
100%.
whatever you're doing face to face, all that, it's all about the engagement outside of these sessions.
Yeah, definitely.
Because London is a lonely place, but when you're locked down, it's very lonely.
Yeah.
So let's get people all connected and together. And I think that's where I think the top people, which we haven't done very well at all, we're still learning that, but there's some people that create these communities, and
100%.
it's so cool to see.
Very powerful.
So yeah, I it's exciting. It's going to be interesting because like there's gyms closing down left, right, and centre at the moment. We've had no help. The landlords have been terrible. All this sort of stuff. So I think what you're going to see is once the economy all like settles down, you're going to see again loads of new boutique studios popping up, new concepts, cheaper rent, so they'll be able to like really maximize the profits and stuff, which I don't think the fitness industry has been able to over the last 10 years. Because if you look at rents within London, it's like before you make any money, you're constantly fighting just to survive, right?
100%.
Yeah, so yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'm excited, but again, I think we need a lot more people like myself that are passionate about the industry, really push and driving it, and bring some new heads to the forefront. Like get them on platforms so people can learn from them. Because I think a lot of the guys that I look up to, they're not social media savvy, so you don't hear about them, but their content's golden. So 100%. Again, I'd like to be that concierge that just pull people, 100%. Give them a space to speak to.
I guess that this is a really such a good point. It's like the Instagram and social media world obviously boomed over the last 10 years, and it boomed in a superficial way. So it boomed in aesthetic, Lamborghini. Oh, look at my Lamborghini! I'm working hard on the beach. I'm massive, I'm hench, I'm lifting all these weights. And it was kind of like this superficial, and obviously that was obviously fed the brainstem, doesn't it? And obviously it's great for clickbait and obviously great for follows. But one of the things that I've even noticed as well is that once you get past that, there's only so many, like exactly like you said, there's only so many people in bikinis or muscle boys or whatever that you can see. And then it's like, boring, next. And people actually, once they start on their journey, exactly like you said, people like humans naturally have desire to want to keep progressing, don't they? So once you've started your journey, which lots of people have, it's like, okay, well, now I've achieved the basics, setup and standard. Like, how do I get to that next level? What's that next level? And this is exactly what you mean about the switch in influences, that people are looking for something deeper. They're looking for something more than just that superficial.
It's a dangerous world if you think about it, because like it's an act. You play this role of an influencer, and then you're impressing other influencers. So it's just this whole world, but it's not real for everyone else watching. And my advice to people is try to connect with the people, your followers. Like ask the question first and let them go, yeah, that's me, and then talk. But a lot of our social media is all about me. Let me, which is great. But if you then ask them what your role, the influencer is, oh, my role's to inspire, my role's to do that. I'm like, well, connect with them then. That's what I feel. There's a big gap there.
100%. And hopefully some of the people that you're bringing through your system, like I know you're saying, obviously, like this is actually kind of all coming together, I guess, isn't it? You know that you want to build, because you guys have been very focused on the individual, and it's now you're very much aware that community is super important, which it is, right? And there is a movement towards that. We're all in our own little bubbles, and it's like we've all separated, and then obviously now we've got to come back together somehow. And I guess you're perfectly primed to be able to do this, because not only do you have the awareness, which is obviously the first thing and the first problem, that you need to know what needs to change, but then also, you know, you're creating those leaders of the future through your programs that you're doing, I guess. So you're really in a really great position to execute, I guess.
That's the beauty of it. That's the reason why we set it up, because we were doing interviews and the quality weren't great. We're like, why don't we just set up our own education? We just take the good ones. That is the kind of the idea, and it took off so well that now it's like I've got gym managers and studio owners calling me up saying, have you got any more students? Because they can trust. And also we get to a stage now that we would only put forward students if we're confident that they suit for that gym. So it's like there's this whole respect going now. And then it's now like we get to the stage, oh, you did it number one fitness. Oh, you must be, there's kind of that recognition. I want to keep that bar up the whole time. So it's like Don't come on my course if you're not interested. Don't come work for me or apply for a job if you're not interested. If you've never been a PT and you're not interested, but now you're becoming, no, not for me. It's like standards. Show me first and then come and just get excited with what we're going to do.
100%. No, it's awesome. You need to, that makes complete sense. It's like you've raised the bar, and then now people naturally, you gain respect because you are raising the standard, not have raised, but are raising the standard.
Take that whole analogy. So we're raising the bar, right? Now look at you as an individual, and I say to you, how would you be your best self right now? And you think, and then you're in your head, you're like, okay, I could do a bit better here, I could do. But now look, when you are your best self, the people around you, and the business deals that you do and your confidence, it's the same thing. If you start with yourself first or your company first and get that exciting, then your staff work harder, then the clients do it. It's this circle.
100%.
And that's what I've learned over the last few months is like, I've got to get myself better first. Yeah. But then that is like, myself is my company, myself is my work, myself. So everything I do now, I'm like, how could I do this better? And even if I'm having a shit day, how can I have a shit day as my best self?
100%. It's you're getting me going now. I'm like,
I can see it.
I should be charging me. I'm like, now, Harry, that's awesome, man. I can't really. I'm not even going to try and. There's nothing else to really say above that. So if we're going to look to probably wrap up, because I don't want to take too much of your time, because I know you're a busy man. What if people want to find out, if people want to get on the course, if people want to connect with you, like what's the best way for them to do it?
Yeah, so company's called Number One Fitness. Number One Fitness Education's the fitness education side. And I always say just message in, because we'll sit down, do a Zoom call, because again, we want to find out who you are first and how we can help. And again, we've got stories to kind of examples of other students, which should be similar to you as well. And then personally, my Instagram handle is Harry Thomas Coaching.
100%.
And I'd say look out for my new concept that I'm launching. It's called Think Future, Feel Now.
What is it called? Think Future, Feel Now.
Yeah, so I take people onto this journey. It's kind of like meditation, visualization. And I take you onto a journey. I get you to think your future life, but every part of it, you're feeling it right now. So when you come out of it, you've already been there. And you're just literally vibrating. But I do that in 6 to 10 minutes. And I've got people out of so much suffering within that time. Or I've got people like where you said the next step for the direction. I'd get you in this space and you'd create all of it and you'd know. It's really, really powerful. So, and it's like sometimes we beat ourselves up. You come out of it and you realize, I'm doing all right at the moment. Like, let go of that. Like, just carry on.
Why stay in prison when the door is wide open? I always love. That's one of my favorite quotes, actually.
Yeah, it's a great quote.
100%. Harry, really appreciate you coming on today, mate. We'll have to get you back on, and we'll probably go deep on some esoteric, high level stuff.
The spiritual stuff, I can go all day long to the simplest form.
I don't know if I'm ready to face my fears yet. You're probably going to have me like crying in the corner. Harry,
well, here's what I'll ask then. I'll get you in for one of my experiences. We'll do that, and next time you can speak about that one.
Talk about it, 100%. Let's do it. Definitely. We'll get it set up.
Amazing.
Hey, thanks. Appreciate it, mate. Take care.
You're welcome. Cheers, buddy. Thank you.
Buddy. Bye.